Emery is rotating because games are coming thick and fast. We obviously now have midweek fixtures coming
Do you guys
up.
have FA Cup? Are you guys still in the FA Cup?
No, we got knocked out of the Carabao Cup. The FA Cup starts in January.
Oh, in January.
So we have got Middlesbrough in the third round.
Oh, Middlesbrough. Okay.
So we got knocked out of the Carabao Cup to, I can't remember actually, United.
So you need to rotate, right? Because you're inside
so
Conference League as
we're
well.
in the Conference League, so that's the third. So we're playing Thursday to Sunday.
So what's
quite a lot.
Unai's priorities or your priorities? At least.
I think so. At the start of the season, a lot of Villa fans are like, I want a trophy. I don't really care if we finish the league, but if we can get a trophy, brilliant. He's the cup master. All of a sudden, when you're fourth, Champions League's on, the calculation changes. And
the horizon expands.
No, you're completely right. And the bottom line is Champions League money for a club is transformational.
Yes.
And the records do show, the history shows that once a club breaks into the Champions League, it tends to actually stay there for an extended period of time. Whereas if you go into the Europa League or even the Conference League, you generally those are kind of the lesser league clubs, and they don't have the squads to be able to maintain it. And so they'll have their run in Europe, maybe even win it, but then they will drop off because that's too punishing, and they'll finish lower in the league, and it's kind of like a sporadic thing. Once you're then
like Leeds, maybe like Leeds.
Leeds. Well, I mean, let's look at West Ham, right? I mean, they had a glorious season for them last season. They won a trophy. Amazing. Declan Rice led them, to this thing. But their kind of squad gets kind of decimated. Exactly, their best player leaves to go to Arsenal, right? Whereas if you're in the Champions League, you no longer become a selling club. But if we don't get Champions League, which could happen, but then with FFP considerations, we are going to have to sell some of our best players. Douglas Luiz might be in the frame. Maybe Watkins goes. I mean, Watkins is a gunner, right? He's a boyhood Arsenal fan. Yeah.
Oh, I don't mind him.
So we would be.
I don't mind him.
If Arsenal are in the market, prepared to spend, because we have. I think he has signed a new contract.
Can we swap Nketiah?
No, absolutely not. Nketiah plus 100 million, maybe.
How about you swap with Nunes?
Would I swap with Nunes for Watkins? I don't know. I actually quite rate Nunes. I think there's a player there.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Agenda.
He is. I didn't realize how fast he was. God, he is rapid.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. I think the Champions. Going back to your point, is that Champions League then all of a sudden means that we can keep that squad together. I mean, what a story it is. But like poor Brighton. They keep getting, these amazing players, and then Chelsea and Liverpool and everyone's just buying them off.
But good business for them.
I mean, amazing business model, right? But as a football fan, you kind of want to see success, and getting that Champions League money in, and then being able to then maybe stay in the Champions League, because at the moment the three best teams are Liverpool, Arsenal, and Man City, right? And that's going to be the top three. But with the new UEFA coefficients, England getting a fifth Champions League spot, Champions League really is on for Villa. It might not happen. I'd say maybe it's 50-50. Don't want to be too presumptuous, but it's definitely on.
You got a
and
chance.
If you offered it me, would you bomb out of the FA Cup and bomb out of the UEFA Champions Conference League and you get Champions League? I would take that.
Go for it. Yeah.
I would take that. And it's kind of not very romantic. There's the cold, harsh reality of, the financial sort of, realities of football, right?
The thing is with Champions League, it gives you leverage to sign better players as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? So that's what a lot of teams want. That
you can go for FA Cup next season.
Exactly, yeah.
And Unai is only
and
one and a half season
better,
in.
So it would be amazing if we got Champions League.
Yeah.
Whether it will happen or not remains to be seen, but it's certainly winning the league is very fanciful. We're not going to win the league, but
this is being humble. Anything can happen in football.
Anything can happen. I think the latest stats we saw, we had a 0.04% chance. So
just look at Leicester City.
Well, exactly. But that was a terrible season.
Everyone else was.
Well, no, because Villa relegated that season, so I hated that season. Everyone was like, wasn't it amazing? That's one thing. He was like, no, I don't give a shit. Villa got relegated. What was that season going to happen? And then we were in the Championship for a long time.
Talking about going back to players, right? You have an ex-Liverpool player who was really like a legend. But what happened to him actually? There's Coutinho.
Coutinho. I think with Coutinho, like his biggest issue is fitness.
Is he still around?
He just get. Well, he's in Saudi.
Oh, he's in Saudi now. Okay.
He's earning mega money as well.
Just recently only, right? The last.
So he went in the summer.
Yeah.
I think.
So what you think of him?
He's a bit of a shame because when he came over, he did actually look really good. He scored some really important goals. He's kind of one of those things that is a little bit flaky. You know, when he left Liverpool, it was quite tough. You know, you kind of barge into him and he'd still keep running. He was just too fragile. Is my kind of thing. The talent's there, the skills there. I mean, you listen to a lot of fans get frustrated with the sort of players like that and they think, oh shit. And it's not really the case. You listen to player interviews and Matty Cash is saying in training, trying to sort of mark Coutinho as an utter nightmare, you know. He's obviously clearly an incredibly talented player. It's about has his body held up?
Oh, maybe not.
No.
Yeah.
And, you know, psychologically, that move from Liverpool to Barcelona was a real mistake from his career, right? Really, if you look at it, it was brilliant for Liverpool.
Swelling up, he
what that transfer does show you, though, going back to if Villa don't make the Champions League, is that you can sell your best player if you get it the right price and replace them if you replace them with the right players. Liverpool on that sale bought Van Dijk and Alisson.
Yeah.
The best keeper in the world, arguably one of the best centre backs in the world, and it made them a much better team, even though they lost their best player. We didn't quite do that with Grealish, but my one kind of thing would hopefully with this new sort of, with Emery, if we were not to get Champions League, and we will, because of FFP, we will have to sell one of our better players and one that is a fan's favourite. I was having this debate on one of the Villa chats. It's not necessarily the end of the world. You know, it can be a good thing. You know, and Liverpool is the ultimate sort of pacing point. So, but I'd rather not be in a situation, and I'd rather get Champions League.